Okay. What's going on, you guys? This is Kyle from Team Skyfox, other known as Blaster Joker, coming at you with a deck profile for a friend. I decided to do this one for him because we played in a tournament and he played this deck really well. Sporting a burn deck, I have with me the known Pendulum player in our store, another one, not Rohan Thomas, Mr. Javier Hernandez.
What's up, everybody?
How did you do today?
Surprisingly well, just because I haven't touched the deck in about 3 years. Just because I've been playing Pendulum for the past 4. So there was no theory behind this deck. I literally decided today was going to be my stress-free day. So I was like, turn off the brain and just like play something fun. And surprisingly, I did well with it, just because it's so straightforward.
All right, cool. Now I got to ask you, what deck did you play?
I played Nurse Refico, the Fallen One.
So Nurse Burn.
Pretty much. Gain life points, and you take it as damage instead.
Oh, it's broken. All right, let's go into that deck profile.
Alrighty, we're gonna start with the monster lineup. Pretty straightforward and simple. Basically, we started with 3 Dark Lord Nurse Reficule. I just like the game promo, so I keep the old ones. Basically, perfect is when your opponent would gain life points, they take it as damage. So usually you don't really attack in this deck, even though surprisingly I attacked for game at one point just because we kind of grinded out, and that 14 actually was I needed 1,000 extra damage, and they just had an open field.
Yeah, that's good.
It's pretty good. Next is our kind of where the draw engine starts is with Dark Lord Ixchel. Because Reficule herself is now considered a Dark Lord monster, using Ixchel now to discard her to draw 2 cards is just completely broken.
That is cool. So, yeah.
Next we're gonna go into spells. That's the entire monster lineup.
So only 6 monsters.
Only 6 monsters.
So, is Ixchel just because to draw?
It's pretty much to draw, but also it's like it thins out the deck a lot, especially because we play Banishment of the Dark Lords, which then searches out Ixchel and or Nurse Reficule for that situation, and we also play other cards that it doesn't require her, but it helps due to her drawing 2, and also since she's a dark monster, we use Allure Darkness in the deck.
Alright, cool, let's go into spells.
Yeah, so next we'll start with 3 card Demise. You think True Draco is the only one that can play this deck? I do not think so. Literally, you just normal summon Nurse, set your back row, like usually it'll be like your gift cards, trying guesses into the voids, and then you just activate card Demise. This is the best hand trap bait, like I would have to say, for Ashes or anything when it comes to that. And then it doesn't matter if you can't special summon, because literally you have 1 normal summon out of the entire deck that you just draw out.
Alright, cool. Next card.
Next we got Pot of Desires. Everyone calls it Neg 9. I agree. It does sting to have it, especially when you draw multiples, but the great thing about this deck is that you play three ofs with almost every single card in the deck, so it's kind of like resource management in a way where it's okay to be able to banish those cards, but then it does stink for those times where you do banish your combo pieces, especially when it comes to the trap lineup, because you really want to have those in the end.
Yeah.
But draw 2, of course. Plussing is just what you're supposed to do.
Alright, cool.
Next we have Pot of Duality, just another
Another adder, basically.
Basically another adder, searcher, and also to reveal your opponent. Yeah, I'm playing this deck, so just sit back and watch. Because we play 6 dark monsters, Allure Darkness, self-explanatory. Danger plays it, we play it.
Yeah.
More draws. Another draw which I enjoy is Into the Void. Most of the time you will combo this with Card of Demise, only because you'll set this, draw your 3 cards, then activate this to have a 4th. So in a way, it's more of a +3 in a way, or a +2.
Yeah.
Just off of 2 cards.
Yeah, and you're only using cards that would go to the grave just to search the traps, because your monsters can just burn.
You really need to thin out your deck as much as possible just to draw those resources.
Alright, cool.
I can't really explain anything else other than that.
Alright, awesome.
So our Rhoda of the deck for our monsters is Banishment of the Dark Lords. Gets you Nurse Reficule and Ixchel. What's great is if you are stuck with 2 of them in your hand and you have traps and or Ixchel already, or if you don't have any of them, basically you'll activate it, search the piece you need, normally Ixchel, so you can then discard the neg basically of the other Dark Lord, and then you draw 2 cards.
Alright, cool.
Next, because we play a lot of 3 ofs, you will see yourself, you won't brick, but it will be a really weird hand in a way. So a deck I play at 3 is Magical Mallet, only because I've gone to the points where I got stuck after activating Pot of Desires and or Pot of Duality, that you can shuffle them back into the deck and then draw your resources again. So it's it just refreshes hands, especially when you're dealing with people that This is also another Ash target, so it just gets around it.
All right, cool.
And then the last, because Nurse Burn plays this, but also sadly the ban list hit us really hard with this, is one Upstart Goblin. Before we were able to give like 3,000 damage just because of triple Upstart, but now the extra 1,000 actually does come in handy when you're stuck with only like 2 or 3 traps that only can add up to 7,000, and Upstart will usually be that last 8,000 push.
All right, cool. And that's it for spells, right?
That is it for spells.
All right, let's go on to the traps.
Alrighty, trap cards. First, we'll start with 2 Bad Reaction to Samochi. Basically, it's another Nurse Reficule. It's a trap card, so it gets around the impermanence. The only card that really outs this, I suppose, is Red Reboot and or Wiretap, all that, basically. Twin Twisters, especially. Well,
Yeah.
I'll get into that at the end of the profile. I got cheesed in my round 2 because of this.
Yeah.
Next, again, because it's reverse burn, you want cards. So we have triple gift card to have your opponent gain life points just so you can take it away, and it's large chunks amount of it too. This is a third of your opponent's life points right here. And once you draw 3 of these and you're Nurse, that is game over.
Yeah.
Even through an Upstart.
Yeah.
Triple this, Passive Destiny.
So what does this card do?
It's very iffy. It's a very luck-based card. Basically, you flip a coin, heads you gain 2,000 life points, and tails you'll take 2,000 life points. So what usually happens is your opponent will automatically take the 2,000 no matter what, as long as you have Nurse or Bad Reaction on the field. But then the great part is if you did brick and you couldn't beat them, if you get heads, you gain the 2,000 instantly. So then basically you can grind out, and if they can't OTK you, by next turn you will OTK them. So that we got 3.
Yeah.
And then the last 3 cards in the deck are Try and Guess.
So this was played a lot today. I've seen you play it. Why did you decide to play this card?
I decided to play this because of the meta itself. The meta right now consists of Thunder Dragons, which play fusion monsters especially, and then we have Goki, which usually, now that MX Saber Invoker is banned, they have to play the Raijin in their extra deck for instant fusion, which is a fusion monster. So, Try and Guess came out in an era during Primal Origins, which was back in Sylvan and Spellbook format. So during that time, it was more prevalent to call like Synchros, XYZs, and fusion monsters. But nowadays, because we're in a more, I would say, fusion-heavy format, just due to the meta itself, it's, I don't know really like how you're really supposed to like go with it. But because we play a lot of cards in the extra deck, especially when you see my extra deck, normally you will call this right every single time based on what you're playing. Cyber Dragons always call fusion or XYZs. Thunder Dragons call fusions. Goki always call the fusion because now they've cut all XYZs at that point, unless they're playing the Buska for some weird reason after they bricked. And then what else? I guess Pendulum Magicians if you think about it, but like it's gonna be harder to call it with them. So basically, just call whatever as long as you know what your matchup is.
Yeah.
To a degree, and this was hilarious. Basically, I flipped 2 of these and a Pass of Destiny on my opponent with Nurse on the field, and they were just like, so what happens here? Like, how are the chain links resolve? So basically, Try and Guess, I called Fusion against Kyle, and it was just like, okay, and I was like, okay, so we have to reveal our extra deck, and the one who has more copies of that target declare type gains 3,000. But of course, this is Nurse Burn, so you're taking the damage instead. It was just all, Sir was salty. I'm sure.
All good, all good.
Especially opening 3 Mally. Oh, that was terrible.
All right, cool. So that's it for your deck, right?
That is the main deck.
So
all I have to say for the extra deck is literally play 15 Link monsters. Doesn't matter what it is, just for Try and Guess, so you don't get kind of screwed over when you declare the wrong type in case they have more than you do. So thank you, Konami, for adding another summoning mechanic, just so we can abuse more cards.
Yeah.
Literally, I just chose like this the most randomest of Link monsters, mostly rares from the sets from like Brains 2.
Yeah. Like, this is literally his extra deck. Like, he didn't even have to play an extra deck. Like,
Yeah,
he
you don't
needed
have
it for just one card.
Pretty much.
But yeah, this did happen today, and it got him at a pretty good spot at our tournament.
4th place. That was alright.
That's not bad. It's not bad.
Top 8.
So I'm guessing you had a side deck, right?
No side deck.
So you just went to have fun today.
It's literally, there is no plan B. It's literally FTK your opponent or lose.
All right. Well, is there anything else that you want to say about this deck? Any shout outs that you want to give out to anyone in particular?
Pretty much the shout outs are just to the store of Skyfox Games. I have to say the community is really good and they enforce like players to be like non-toxic, which I really appreciate through the community. So if you ever find yourselves here in Oshawa, Canada, Ontario, then just come to Skyfox Games. We got good deals, everything. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, thank you so much, Javier. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe down below if you're new to the channel. But without any further ado, this is Kyle. Peace and out.